Frontrunners in the U.S. presidential election have made remarks following the one-year commemoration of the Israel-Gaza war. Donald Trump described the 7th October attack by Hamas as one of the darkest days in all of history. He also repeated a previous claim that the attack on Israel would never have happened if he was still in the White House. We have more details in this report.
U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has pressed on issues including the Middle East, Ukraine, gun ownership, and immigration in the United States. She says the war, which led to the death of thousands, must come to an end.
250 hostages were taken, including Americans. Women were brutally raped. And as I said then, I maintain Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. This war has to end. The work that we do diplomatically with the leadership of Israel is an ongoing pursuit around making clear our principles. We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
She also made comments about the current state of the U.S. economy, acknowledging the historic low unemployment in America among all groups of people, she says, but acknowledges prices are still too high. The vice president says she will press Congress to ban price gouging by companies.
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate. You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about.
There is less than a month to go before Election Day in the race for the White House between the Democrats and her Republican opponent. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump delivered remarks on Monday evening at his Trump National Doral Golf Course in Miami, Florida, to commemorate the October 7th attacks on Israel by Hamas. During his remarks, Trump mentioned the election in November, saying the bond between the United States and Israel will once again be stronger and closer than it ever was before if he wins.
On that terrible day, including several here tonight, we grieve with you, we stand with you, and we make you this sacred and sacred vow, very simple vow, a vow you've heard many times, and sometimes it's honored and sometimes it's not, but this will be honored. Never again. Never again. The monsters who perpetrated those murders also took over 250 hostages, men, women, and children, including 12 Americans. In so doing, they inflicted the most unthinkable torture, not only on their captives, but also on the families who were forced to live day after day in excruciating agony and pain, not knowing whether their loved ones were dead or alive.
With a few weeks left until the presidential election, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have turned to issues of foreign policy on the campaign trail as tensions in the Middle East rise. President Joe Biden continues to support Israel's right to defend itself, with the U.S. joining Israel in shooting down Iranian missiles this week. But he has cautioned against actions that would further expand the war. Until recently, both candidates' campaigns have not centered on issues of foreign policy, with topics such as the economy taking a sharper focus. Whether Harris and Trump begin to outline specific policy aims for their approach to the Middle East as Election Day draws nearer remains to be seen.